Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana and I'm coming to share a revelation that the Lord gave to me about a dream that I had, and I know that this is something that He's calling me to share. Before I get started though, I want to say that it's important with any video that you watch in terms of revelations or prophecy from the Lord to test the spirit, to make sure that through confirmation that this word is for you, because not every word may be for everyone. And also, if you feel that this is confirmation, please take it to the Lord in prayer and ask Him how this word is applicable to you and the specifics of how it is to be applied to your life. So the dream that I had was that I was living in my hometown that I grew up in a brownstone. And I remember coming in the house and I was tired. I went straight to bed and I woke up the next morning. I was feeling good. And then I walked down to the front door and I realized that the door was cracked open. I didn't lock the door. And my first instinct was to panic. Like, did anyone come into my house? Like, let me go check, make sure that no one's hiding in the bathroom or whatever the case may be. And I remember God, He said, I protected you. And my spirit was so calm and it was so still. And I knew that God watched over me during the night. And I was so grateful, y'all, because honestly, I didn't grow up in the easiest neighborhood. Like, the neighborhood that I grew up in was really rough. And we made sure to lock the door. Like, every single lock that we had on that door, we locked it before we went to bed. And, make sure, that the house was suitable to go to bed. So we checked the stove and we checked for any sign of danger to make sure that we were good before we went to sleep. And honestly, I kind of have that mentality, I got to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to protect myself. And obviously, use wisdom. Don't act in a way that's not wise. But God, He was showing me through this dream and through the interpretation that there's a new level of rest and a new level of just basking in God's goodness and God's love for us and God's protection of us. And it's not necessarily anything that we necessarily do or say or pray or anything like that that causes Him to protect us or causes Him to take extra special care of us or anything like that. He loves us and we are His children. He looks after us. And it's like a new season of rest. I know that there's been a lot of spiritual warfare that a lot of people are going through. And some of you may be tired and weary and feeling like you're worn down. And I know that God is calling us to a new season of rest and just resting in just His secret place, resting in just His presence and knowing that He is fighting for us, that a lot of you've done your part, and now it's up to God to finish off the rest and to give you the victory and give you the promise that He spoke to you that you were fighting for. And honestly, this is not the easiest word for me to even just accept and just walk out. I still have the tendency to feel like I need to, do X, Y, Z, or I need to do things that will prompt God to act on my behalf. But God is literally in this season, I feel like a lot of us, He's calling us to rest and understand that He is fighting for us, and that is not by our works, is not by our actions. I will never, ever, ever tell you to not do something that God is calling you to do. So obviously, if He's instructing you or prompting you to do things, definitely be obedient to that. Definitely be diligent to that. But sometimes, and I specifically feel it for this season, sometimes He's just calling us to rest and understand that it's His goodness and His grace that is protecting us, that is covering us, that is fighting for us. It's God on the other end fighting for us and allowing us to get the victory and get through to where He's calling us to be. God, He told me for this word to read Psalms 91, 1-4. And it says, those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust in Him. I trust in Him. For He will rescue you from every trap and protect you from disease from deadly disease, sorry. He will cover you with his feathers, and he will shelter you with his wings. His faithful promises are your armor and protection. And I love Psalms 91 so much, because especially in this part, is like, God is the one who's the active participant in this part of Psalms 91. We literally just have to live in the shelter of him. We have to be the ones to find rest, and literally just rest, like just rest in his shadow, rest in him as our shelter. And he is the one that gives us refuge. He is the one that keeps us safe. He's the one who protects us. He's the one who covers us, and he is the one who shelters us. Like, he loves us so much, and his love for us and his grace towards us is what keeps us, is what protects us. Those promises that he has given unto you, it says his promises are your armor and your protection. His promises. So it's just basking and resting in my God, my Father. He said that this is going to happen. He said that I'm going to be this, or I'm going to do this. That's it. He said it. He will do it. It's your armor and your protection. It doesn't matter what comes against you. Understand that, especially if this word is for you, that he is fighting for you, and he's making the way for you to get to that promise, and for you to just rest in him. Just rest in him. And it's such a crazy thing, because it's like we kind of live in a world of give and take. And it's like, okay, so I got to do this, and we check off the list of, I got to pray, and I got to read my word, and I got to make sure that I'm fasting at least X, Y, and Z. And all of that is good, and all of that has its place. All of that has its place. It does. It's necessary. Those are weapons that the Lord gives to us so that we can be effective in life, that we can be effective in what he's calling us to do. And trust me, like, those things are necessary. But sometimes he's just calling us to rest and understand that it's by his goodness. It's nothing that we can work for. It's nothing that we can do to get more goodness or to get more of his love. We can't work for his love. We cannot earn it. Like, his love is what protects us. And he's just calling us to rest in his love. He's calling us to rest in his love. So just dwell and live in the shelter of the Most High, and just rest in God. Rest in God, because he's fighting, he's moving. And I know that even very soon, like, the promises that he's given unto you is coming to pass, because he's fighting and he's making a way for you to receive what he said is yours. He's making a way for that. So I pray that this video was a blessing to at least one person out there. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Just rest in God. Know that he got your back. Like, he always says that to me, I got your back. He got your back, and he's fighting for you. Just rest. So I love you. Thank you for watching the video.